So hey, this is my first ever live stream. Let's see how this works out. It's very impromptu, and I want to explain on the Newton MessagePad, basically the predecessor of the today's iPhone from 1994, how to change the operating system. Those machines have little ROM boards that are in here. And unfortunately, the board looks a little bit different on your machine. Those are mask programmed ROMs that can't be changed, but there are bugs in the system that we want to fix, and we want to add some other software. So I created a programmer for this, and the programmer itself, it's just a very simple board. It has the same connector as the message pad here, and on the back side, it has an SD card slot, and then it has a ton of pins, and those pins connect to an whoop, gravity connect to an Arduino Duo. It's important. This is an Arduino Duo. It's not a Mega. The Mega has 5 volts, which will destroy your boards. The Duo has 3.2 volts. So, first thing, if you happen to have a card like this or you want to get one from me, just go on messagepad.org and you can either download the PCB design or see if you can get one card from me. And then the first thing you need to do to make the card fit is remove these pins. There are two sets of pins that need to be clipped off with a little knife or whatever you have. So the SD card connector does not touch them because that would give a short circuit and that would be bad. Next thing, it's very easy. Just push the one board into the other. Just make sure that the pins here fit. So for example, this is wrong and this is right. Start there and then push the whole thing in. You see that they're two empty on this side and two empty on that side. That's correct. Just push the whole thing in and it gives a neat package. So how to get the SD card in there? Well, that's very easy. Just slide it in with the contacts facing up. It's not a push-pull, so you just, when you want to take the card out, you just pull it out. So the next thing now we would do is connect this via USB cable. And the important thing, to know is there are two connectors, and we're using this one here. And what it will do, it will show up as a serial port on your computer, and you need a serial port terminal at 57,000 bouts to connect to this thing. And if it's already programmed, if the Duo has the operating system on it or the firmware on it for programming, then it will show up with a little menu giving you the option to program the flash. First thing to do is check for short circuits. The command for that currently is S and return and OK, and then return again in the terminal window. But you'll see that when you see the menu. If you do want to program this thing from scratch, I will make a second video that explains that. Once you've done that and you know that there are no shortcuts, the next thing to do is put the flash card in there. And there's a little trick to do that. So this is already a flash card. The ROM card looks a little, original Apple ROM cards looks a little bit different. It has 2 chips here. We have 2 chips here. And to remove this card, you need to pull on this thing here a little bit. I can't do it upside down. So this card lifts up in an angle. And once you have it at a 45-degree angle, it's released and you can take it easily out. Don't try to push it in like that. Always set it in at a 45-degree angle. Then once you've done that, make sure that you can still see a tiny bit of copper here. So for example, this would be wrong. So make sure you see a tiny bit of copper and then push it down and it clicks. You can hear it click, and that's when the card is safe. The same is for the programmer. It's the exact same connector. Again, put it in at an angle. Push it in, and this is how the system sits. And to take it out, pull on those clips. You get it at an angle, and you can take it out. So one thing to remember, I promised to do this first, but I forgot. Before you take out the ROM card, always remove the batteries. I have no batteries in this machine, so it didn't matter. But if you have batteries in there, take that out first and disconnect the power supply. So I hope that helps a little bit for the beginning. I will make another video later on how to program and how to set new content for your machine.